Hello and welcome to the SLTP, aka the Secret Lorcana Testing Podcast. R2 here, still filling in for Dylan. I've got with me to start, we got Josh Shadox and Ray. Hello, guys.
How's it going?
Today we're going to be touching on a little bit of news items, and most of the time will be spent talking about the limited format because Set 7 is about to launch. So I don't know about you guys, but I have a bunch of different types of events this coming weekend. My LGS likes to do we kind of all take off on Friday. We go to the store together. We hang out when they open. We'll get lunch together, dinner together. We'll open product. We'll do a sealed event in the evening, and we're actually going to be doing on-demand draft pods throughout the day. So it'll be a
It's
lot of
pretty
new
cool.
cards, a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to play some limited in this set. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be really cool because in constructed we can't use dual links outside of what they're intended for,
hmm
but in limited we can. So we get to see
Yes.
some of these combinations that are literally impossible to be seen elsewhere.
Yeah. And like this set is also interesting in terms of what's included for limited. Like if you take a quick kind of look at the cards in a set, there's not that much removal at all in the set. And it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. There's no locations. There's like very few songs. It's quite different.
Yeah.
A lack of draw.
Lack of
Um,
draw, so deck
even-
building would be more difficult because when you draft you gotta be careful not like stuck with these high cost characters but you can't get to it with the inks.
But the nice part is a lot of limited tends to be kind of character battling, and this is a set with
Yes.
it's 85% characters.
Yes.
So you won't have, rather, you shouldn't have a pool on average that is like, here's a whole bunch of dead items, a whole bunch of dead actions, a whole bunch of locations that don't give lore or do anything, which I've had in the past.
Yeah.
So
No,
that's
I think
exciting.
this will be fun. This will be. I feel like limited wise, there's a lot more interaction. Like you can see people utilizing more like support characters or characters with enter the battlefield ability, reducing damage or increasing power, which I think the coils would be played. All right. Obviously, I think they're terrible and constructed unless it's Sapphire Coil.
Yeah.
But I think in limited, these will be really fun to use, actually.
Yeah, but before we get too much more into
Yes.
limited cards and stuff, we have one news item. Josh, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So the news item that we wanted to talk about was China announcing their full tournament structure and road to worlds. It was pretty interesting. This came out a couple days ago. Today is the 5th of March. And they talked about how they have a different kind of path to worlds for the Chinese players. Though I don't know if it's exclusive to, Chinese only or not, or if any player can, fly over if they want to take part. But let me share my screen here.
Yeah, DKP already has plane tickets and passport ready to go to China to play there as well. He's going to do the full circuit, every single challenge event ever possibly held.
So this is the little article from Musha Report that has the Road to Worlds. And as you can see here in the diagram, there's this big prize tournament qualifiers that leads to the big prize tournament. And on the other side, there's the challenge qualifiers, which leads to the challenge tournament. So that's the first step. And
Yeah.
the big prize tournament and the challenge tournament lead into the Simplified Chinese Championship tournament, and that leads into Worlds. So the last two parts, Worlds and Championship tournament, we can assume is just like ours, right? Worlds and
Yeah, Continentals
and
into Worlds,
Continentals. Yeah. It's the other part which is different. So the challenge tournament, I can assume is like DLC, but the interesting part is the challenge qualifiers, which
Yep.
was not there before.
Yeah,
So
and
what do you
this
think of
is-
that? Yeah.
This is cool to see because I know that I've talked to either locals or other competitive players who have wanted something like this, other ways to qualify in. because and I've voiced this before. I don't fault people for doing what they want with their time and money, but there were a bunch of people who were able to buy DLC tickets like to every single DLC, and they went to all of them. Right? Mm-hmm. Where maybe some people could only go to the Seattle one because that's where they live. They don't have the money to maybe fly across the country, but they couldn't get to Seattle because it was sold out quickly or something. And again, I'm not saying, oh, those people who went to all the DLCs, they shouldn't be able to. Obviously, if you have the money and the means, go for it. There should be maybe another way to qualify in.
I agree with you. Like, there should be a way where, like, prioritize locals first, because you want Lorcana community to grow in those areas, not just have people come from other countries and just take over and not give other people a chance to even step into the competitive realm of Lorcana.
Yeah, I think the big outlier was probably the DLC Melbourne.
Yeah.
But I mean, that happened in other ones. I know that I live up in New England. The closest one to us was Toronto. I know that parts of the country also had geographically not so close to them as well, but for us it's like, okay, well, Boston's right here, or even like New York City. Would have been nicer if there was something closer for us.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is, like, I actually almost didn't get a ticket for Toronto. Well, I actually didn't get a ticket. I tried, but luckily one of our guys, like, in our group had an extra ticket, and then I was able to actually compete at Toronto because he ended up giving it to me.
Nice. Yeah, it's like, I think we touched on it in another episode, but it feels so bad when a challenge or in a big event comes to your hometown and you don't get a ticket.
Yeah.
Right? It's disheartening.
It's like your part to shine, to defend home turf.
Yeah.
Or even if you take away not the ability to get a ticket, but just life.
Yep.
J-Bob, who was on last week, he lives around the Chicago area. He wasn't able to go to Chicago because he had previously already had a vacation planned. Maybe now that with a challenge qualifier or this other like big prize tournament, there would be another thing that came through near him that would give him another opportunity to then qualify into Continentals instead of having to go to Texas, Vegas, Seattle, and travel too far away.
Yeah, and that's the other part that I didn't mention yet, is this big prize tournament qualifiers and big prize tournament is also new. There's no real like info here about it. So I am just kind of speculating that this big prize tournament stuff is going to be like a grassroots kind of scene. So for example, like, how we have the SSG 10K, they might partner with like Ravensburg to have qualifiers attached to it. I'm not sure how exactly that would work because there's a lot of logistics to go into that stuff, but I don't know what else this big prize tournament could be. It could just be like something like a challenge, but
and it could be also maybe more in place, because how many challenges do we have in North America? 6
and then 7 Europe, I think, right? Or sorry, no, I think it's 7.
Just DLCs in North America. Toronto.
There was Atlanta.
6, right? Yeah.
Chicago, Vegas, Texas, Seattle, Toronto. Yeah, 6.
So it could, one of the things that we might not know about, maybe China will only get 3 DLCs. And then 3 big prize tournaments. So they just kind of change. It's the same amount of qualifying events, but they've just changed the look and feel of them.
Could be, yeah.
Because if you keep adding more to it, maybe it's not, because what is it, top 16 from DLCs? Maybe top 16s all don't get invites to Continentals then. Or maybe they lower the amount of LCQ pods or something, because you have to have a target number for what you want at Worlds, right? And then you work backwards from there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if Worlds is going to be 64 players, then how many do we get through from Continentals? How do we get through from the ones before that? So it'll be interesting to see how they format this. How many of these events are there? how many Chinese players are going to be coming through the World Championship.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing is just down here, it says for the qualifier events, they'll be store level. So I guess just your local hobby stores could be hosting them. So, for example, this one here says 30 stores have been confirmed to be hosting the store qualifier events. It says 30 confirmed. It could be more, right? And then you also have the dates from March 22 to March 30th, 30 stores, and then it's from 32 to 64 players. There's a max of 64. So it is like a bit limiting, but also it seems like there's a lot more opportunities to be held.
Yep.
So almost like store championships, right?
Yeah.
The other interesting part is it'll be canceled if it's below 32. So hopefully, the stores coordinate and don't have them like all on the same day or something.
Right. But I mean, China has a pretty densely populated area.
They do, yeah.
Right? So I think that would not be, speaking from like my experience of living up in the New England area, we have a lot of, yes, that happens, right? When stores have it on the same day, it's like, oh, okay, well, only 12 people showed up here and 16 showed up there. Well, imagine if they had not done that in one store, we would have had a nice, what is that math, 28-person set champ, and that would be much more fun than a 12 or a 16.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from what I hear, the game's actually like popping off in like China and Japan. So, if I was hosting one of these, I wouldn't be worried about not hitting the 32.
I mean, maybe if there's a store across the street from you, maybe work with them, right?
Yeah.
But you're probably safe.
Yeah, and the other...
I kind of...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I kind of like that, like they're having actual locals running these as well.
Yeah,
because it's a way to let people know, like, there's like a place close to them that they can actually like play Lorcana, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how many people, if people know like how many stores are like within their city that actually like plays Lorcana or have Lorcana, right? Like even for us at Toronto, like when it first came out, we're like just trying to see like okay, where actually is hosting events. Right.
Yeah.
And then from there, we kind of build our community that sort of way.
Yeah, it's a bit rough sometimes, right? Like, because even though there was, like in Toronto, there was a lot of stores that were selling Lorcana, but not everywhere had events, was the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And all the strong players are like, spread apart.
Yeah, they're all over.
GTA. We're all over.
And
I guess it's good. So like, we're not,
I was just about to say it's
limiting
good, right?
each other.
Don't stick them all in one store. And I guess more on the qualifiers. The other interesting thing is there's a city tier qualifier detail, or a city tier qualifiers as well, which is a max of 128. But I'm not sure if it says, like, it doesn't really say anywhere about the details on what each qualifies you for, or if the store tier qualifies you for the city tier, because those aren't like here.
They're not even in the image.
Yeah, here it just shows challenge qualifiers and big prize tournament qualifiers. So is store on the left and city on the right, or is it not? It's like it's
or maybe it's just both. Maybe like the store tier is for like a lesser populated spot, and then the city is for the other ones. They know like, oh, okay, we know that your store gets X people.
Yeah,
you can support a city
one. It would have
one.
been cool if they like, each locals will have all their locals compete against each other, and then the winner of each local will go duke out in one spot. Right, and then get their qualification. That sort of way.
That could be what this is. It could be that you have to go from store tier into a city tier. Yeah. So it could be like, oh, okay, the top 4 people from the store tier then get to go to the city tier.
Yeah.
Plus maybe some other random
store
people or
tier
something.
would be lower than these top 2 here. It's just not on the thing.
It's just not on it. Or maybe not lower, but like included in the challenge qualifiers. Like it's all encompassed in one box.
Could be, yeah. And
I kind of like that though. It pushes people to really go out to their local game store as well. Because like you go in there, you're trying to scout too. Right? Okay, where are these guys playing, so I know what I'm gonna tech against.
Yeah, I can't sit on
That's what I'm
TTS all day or Lorcana or whatever and just farm people there.
It's just different, right? The online format and then local.
Yeah, and
you
one
play
other
control,
thing,
you run to aggros.
one other thing to point out also is like the top players get buys in the upcoming events, which I really like as well. I know a couple of the games do that too. Is depending on how high you place in like the qualifiers, you earn yourself buys for the next event. So
This has actually
it's a
been
nice reward.
seen in Lorcana as well.
Oh, has it?
The SCG con.
Oh,
when
yes.
they do the, at least in the early days. I don't know if it still is happening, but the Friday 1K, if you like top 8'd it, you would then get a 1 or 2 round buy the next day or something.
Yeah. So SCG Hartford last year, I topped the Friday one, and I actually went there to play Flesh and Blood, and I was planning to play the event on Saturday. So I said, "Oh, is there a way you can sign me up while I play the Top Cut?" Because Top Cut was on Saturday, which kind of sucked. It's like Saturday morning. So I was like, "Oh, can you sign me up for the event while I'm playing Top Cut?" They're like, "No, you're gonna have to drop if you want to do that." And I was like, "Oh, okay. What about the Lorcana event on Saturday?" They said that one we can do. And basically every round you win in top 8 equals 1 buy.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you won top 8 and then top 4 and lost in finals, you basically got 2 buys.
But I'm not sure if they're doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Because I know that there was some feedback after the Hartford one. It wasn't maybe the most community approved way to run it, but
yeah, I like, even though it was nice if you top, of course, I would much rather have it all done in one day.
Yeah. Let's see, another piece of information on this is down in the prizing. This is the first time I think we're seeing a common Let It Go.
Yeah, and Dragonfire.
So right, and Dragonfire, yep.
That's
is
right.
it foil or
No,
is it non-foil?
it's just common, non-foil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or I guess not common, but yeah, non-foil.
We've got Dylan.
Oh,
Whoa!
You're back.
what the?
Who invited
Getting
this guy?
replaced already.
No,
Does the wife let you be here? Or you gotta watch the baby?
temporarily. I
Nice.
just fed her, so
Nice.
I figured I'd stop in for a little bit. I forgot that you guys were recording today, and I was like, I actually have some time. I'll hop in for like 10 or 15 minutes.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Chinese Road to Worlds.
I saw this.
And their
The
new their prizing. Yeah, it's interesting.
So
What do you think?
The pricing is cool, but the part that interests me is the, like, I don't know if you talked about the structure already or if you're getting to that.
We just talked about it. Yeah.
Did you talk about how I'm secretly hoping that they take some of this and put it into what they're doing in like North America and Europe?
That's.
I
We
mean,
didn't talk about that, but
We
yeah.
didn't talk about that, but I mean that's a kind of hopeful look ahead, right? Because we haven't gotten any DLC information about the next cycle.
Yeah.
Worlds hasn't even been announced yet. So I mean, if they're showing this for the Chinese World Championship path, maybe they're setting it up so that we'll have something like this.
The only thing that I'm not 100% sure about are what these challenge qualifiers are. The only thing I can think of is like, I wonder if this is their way of trying to be like, we've heard your complaints about not being able to sign up for challenges. Maybe a challenge qualifier, and again, I don't know how they would do this, but maybe challenge qualifier is like a set amount of slots within a DLC lets you, like, those are reserved for challenge qualifiers, and then the rest is open slots. I don't know.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah.
Well, I guess like we're like going away from like using Melee, right? So
Yeah.
maybe like their new app that we're gonna use will calculate points.
Because
having
That's
some
true.
points.
They are tracking some of that.
Yeah,
right?
I
there
think
is a
like,
leaderboard.
based on a point system. Like,
Yeah.
could get you qualified.
I forgot about that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
And
I
that'd be
wonder
cool,
if they're going
too.
to do the points based on like regions though. So like as an example, like my region, I guess it depends on what you would consider a region. So like there's Western Canada and there's a province that I'm in Saskatchewan, right? And so up until I think last set, realistically there was only like 3 stores within Saskatchewan that actually held tournaments. There's one in Regina, one in Saskatoon, and just one just outside of Saskatoon. From what I've heard in my region, that there's 2 more stores that are potentially. So there's one more in Saskatoon, there's one in Moose Jaw. So like what I hope they don't do is that it's based on raw points. Because if you're somewhere like even Toronto, like how many stores run Lorcana events within like driving distance for you guys?
Quite a lot.
Like if you want to do like let's say they're hosting set champs tomorrow. How many could you realistically go to if you wanted to?
Like 15 or something.
Yeah. I have a max of 6.
Yeah, I have like a minimum of probably like 10, probably more.
So
then like if I expand to like a 2-hour driving,
Yeah.
which I done in set 2, like I drive 2 hours to go down to like Massachusetts and play there.
So just to be clear, my 6 is 2.5 hour driving distance.
Well, yeah, if that's the case, then I could probably hit like 30 stores.
Yeah. And so what I'm hoping doesn't happen is it's based on like just raw points, and it's like, okay, so those of us that are in these desolate regions are just like, we're just never going to get that. Whereas that might be where some of these big prize tournament qualifiers happen, is that like these desolate regions, like yes, there's going to be the leaderboard, but there's also these qualifier tournaments that you can like get like a PT, like the old school PTQs and regional championship qualifiers.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we're seeing that they're pretty good about taking feedback, and they've been improving constantly through all the, even like looking at what Atlanta was and what Seattle was from a DLC standpoint.
Right.
It kept improving. So if this is the next step, that's exciting.
I think doing like point system like that, and even like getting like smaller points, like going like casual nights at your locals, is kind of cool too. Because then it encourages people to go support their local game store and grow the scene.
Yeah.
Because I do know that like, yes, there are like, we have possibly like 15 stores that runs Lorcana, but then like not all of them are firing every night, just because like everywhere's so spread out. It's kind of weird, right? Because like a lot of the games I go to, I talk to them, it seems like most of the top players or like strong players, they tend to just play online within their circle, don't really travel to local. So because of that, it's really hard for them to get like things going at their game nights, or doing something that like incentivize like strong players to come out and play. I think it's kind of good, because not only like it grows the scene, but like casual players can learn from stronger players, and then it's just fun, right? Because when you spread information like that, like everyone improves together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's been a lot of fun watching my locals all level up, and now I mean, when set jams first came out, I kind of cruised around and did whatever I wanted, and now it's not the case anymore.
It's the same thing for me. Like, it's crazy. I don't want to acclimate or attribute too much of it to me, because that's not true to how good some of these players in my local scene are. However, I will say that I think they do try to take it up a notch because of the level of play that I have, and because like when I'm playtesting with some of the people that are like some of the strongest in my area, like I'm constantly correcting them and showing them lines and taking what I've learned from our Discord and like helping them grow, and they're getting a lot better, which makes it easier for me to maintain the competitive level. Because like there used to be times where it was the same thing or two where I'd go to locals and it's like I would just turn my brain off because I didn't have to think, and I'd lose dumb games because like, oh, I forgot to account for the fact that your blue can just challenge into my character instead of just questing, or just like dumb things that I would never do when playing in our in-house tournaments or something like that. So it's nice seeing that piece of it grow. But I will say that I definitely use like the testing locally to just like get reps in with paper again, and to like take what I've learned from the Discord and go. If I'm actively wanting to learn, like our Discord is just too strong for that, which is I think part of what makes it hard for, like what Ray mentioned, is like some of these like inner circles are playtesting instead of going to locals. Like our Discord is just so strong that like I made the joke when I was prep playtesting Red Blue one night with having like 6 or 7 people just over my shoulder, including Sailor, like just like going over lines with me like on the program that should not be named, is infinitely better than just jamming like 100+ games.
Locals.
Like it's not even remotely close.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of like even back when Pixelborn was like available, right? It's like as soon as you hit Grandmaster or higher rank in hardcore mode, your like quality of players is completely different.
Yeah.
Or like beginning of testing, like you can just play any jank deck and beat anyone in lab mode. But as soon as you start like actual rank, you're like, okay, this deck sucks. I'm just beating bad players.
Yeah, and like you said about like playing online versus like at locals, paper is like quite a bit. It's like not too much, but it's a different skill set, right? Like dexterity does come into play, right?
Yeah.
So it's a bit interesting. And there's no like friendly reminders to remind you of things like Cogsworth giving resist. I don't have a steel border around my cards to remind me.
Right. Yep. I do in playtest, but and you did have them in feature matches at DLCs for a little bit, but they stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get very bad habits actually if you don't play paper.
Yeah, that was about to say that's one of the things that even my locals, where they're like, okay, we could stay home, skip going to locals today, and we could just jam some games, but I want to go to locals. 1, it's good to see friends. 2, good to build a community. But 3, it's good to develop habits.
Diablo triggers.
You know, I need to do this. Right. Diablo triggers or just other things, you know.
And if you don't, you get...
sharked. You get sharked.
Yep.
In the end, this whole little segment here was just to call out JDRR because I've never seen him in real life. Thanks, Ray.
I mean, and he's in Toronto, right? He's a local for you guys?
Yeah.
I think I've only played against him once in person, and it was the most awkward like interaction. So we're both red purple mirror. I beat him first game, and then he's like, "Can I switch to purple steel?" I'm like, "Bro, we're in a tournament. I don't think you can do that."
Why am I playing this deck?
And then I ended up 2-0ing him. He's like, "I hate red purple."
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
All right. I guess back to the prizing. Yeah, it's interesting. They're non-foil Dragonfire and Let It Goes for like the first time.
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I wonder if there'll be English versions. You gotta.
So one thing I'm curious, actually, the people that are traveling to play these DLCs, are they required to play like Chinese version of the card, or can they play like, you know, actual English version?
That's the current rule, right? Is that you can't play in Japan or China without those regions' cards.
So TKP will have to buy like Chinese cards if he wants to compete in China.
Correct.
Pretty much.
Yeah. The assumption is that they're doing that because that's just the easiest way to be like,
hi,
that's what you're allowed to play with.
Yeah.
And we have a 5th member of the pod now.
Yeah, she's
new
temporarily
Lorcana champion.
She's making a guest appearance. This is Brynley.
Hi,
she
Brynley.
came out humongous. She came out at 10 pounds 6 ounces and 21 inches long. She's a monster.
Careful, man. She's gonna smoke you.
Is your family big?
No, that's the thing. Like, I was 7 pounds. My wife was 5 pounds when she came out. There's like a minor history of like relatively big babies on like my biological dad's side of the family.
Okay.
Nothing this large.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she's humongous. But I figured. My wife texted me and she's like, "Can she make a guest appearance?" And I was like, "Yeah, she can quickly come say hi." So
welcome to the club.
Yeah, welcome to the gang.
This is what's been keeping me busy.
Yeah, make sure you make a Discord. Okay.
Yeah. Your playtest partner.
Okay. All right. Sorry, sidetracked.
It's okay. Good sidetrack.
Yeah, but so you have to. There's stipulations for how to that you have to want to play in China and Japan, and who knows? They could even just say you have to be a resident.
Yeah.
I kind of like that too. Yeah. Especially if you already won a DLC, it's like you gotta give like your own people a chance, right? You know.
Nah.
I mean, so here's the thing, right? I understand that it's different. They didn't make the stipulation for Australia, and so I'm curious if they'd actually make the stipulation here.
Yeah. The only reason I can see them making the stipulation for China or Japan is because like when I went to Japan, there were like quite a few places that required you to be a resident to like book tickets for. Like I think it was a Studio Ghibli museum or something. There was like different time, like there's an earlier access time slot for residents first before they opened it up to like non-residents.
Okay.
So that's one reason. The other reason is due to, I think they limit it is because of their rules on that we were just talking about only using Chinese or Japanese cards in their tournaments, no English or other language cards. Whereas for us, it's the opposite. We can play anything.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a thing though, right? Like we haven't actually had a DLC since these cards have started coming out. I'm curious if So I guess the first question I'll ask: has it been confirmed that PPG isn't doing events next year? It has been, right?
No, it hasn't.
I don't think so.
It hasn't been confirmed.
No.
It's just been strongly rumored.
It's just been rumored, yeah. Yeah, for all we know, everything is still in the works in terms of the entire competitive scene.
So I guess whether it's PPG or whoever, it'll be curious to see what rulings they put in place for other language cards.
Sure, I mean, but we were able to use like German and French and European cards, right?
Yep.
Were we? Because I'll be completely honest with you.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'll be completely honest with you. At North America DLCs, I have yet to play against a card that's a different language other than English. So I had no idea.
I mean, maybe
Well, I think in Toronto too, like people were playing French cards.
Yeah, that would make some more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and to be fair, a lot of the card names are usually the same, like regardless on the language. It's like the subtext and stuff. And you usually don't notice that as like a player who knows like most cards, right? You just look at it as like, oh, I know that card.
Yeah.
And like in a setting like that, you're also allowed to call for what that card does.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
If there was any confusion and you can't read it and your opponent can't communicate it or something, the judge could help out.
Yeah, but it will be interesting to see what the DLC ruling would be, because I mean, according to Disney Lorcana themselves, the cards are legal to play, and it's all up to like the main issue is if that card is, I mean, any card in general, if that card is identifiable, visually identifiable in your deck. I believe it says.
Yeah, because they recently came out and said that you could double sleeve an enchanted as the only double sleeved card in your deck as long as it remains you can't identify it.
But that's the problem, right? If you double sleeve just enchanteds, there's a 0% chance that they're not identifiable.
Because it's thicker.
Maybe you got really big thick sleeves and your double is really thin. I don't know. I'm not trying it. I'm not playing with enchanteds.
It's 2025. In the 15 years that I've played TCGs, I don't consider myself a sleight of hand shuffler. I could pick out double sleeved cards that are the only ones in their deck easily.
Okay, but technology advances. Maybe there's some nano thin inner sleeves.
There's a chance.
They're iron-ons. They get real nice and
like
nice and
I know we're playing like
iron-on sleeves.
We're playing like a Disney's card game.
You're like literally laminating your cards.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. The problem is like I just don't like blanket banning cards.
Right.
Yeah. Especially when the game itself says they're legal, right? Oh, what's up? Haven't had fumbles on in a while.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I was busy playing against. I don't know if you've heard of him, Skylar.
I caught some of that game. How'd that end up?
It was very good. We played Blue Steel Mirrors, which
sounds
they're
exciting.
Gonna be popular.
Yeah, it's good practice to get that in now.
We won one, so
you won one.
Both sets, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah. So...
I don't want to like hijack, but that's actually a good. I don't know how much you want to talk about this, but I don't have a ton of time before I have to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great transition if you guys are ending up going to talk about the meta at all.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't planning a meta talk. We were playing limited. But if you want to do a meta talk right now while you're here, we could do that.
I want to do like 5 minutes because I just want to see what you guys have thought, because I would love some information because of Baby, I have.
Dude, you're not even playing this set. What are you talking about?
Yes, I'm going to Store Champs. You kidding me? I already
he
ordered
just
my
wants,
Tamatoas.
He wants to catch up, okay? So basically Red Steel's like crazy. And Red Breed? Oh my goodness.
You just leave it on.
Oh, have you seen Puppies? You can win in one turn.
Really puppies your thread, Ray.
You can OTK people with Lucky.
No, Puppies, we all agreed not to play because it was too broken. So that's what the meta is.
So I think because so many people are going to be playing Blue Steel in our in-house when we do it, that if I do think I have time to play in our in-house, I think I'm going to play Red Blue because I want to stress test it against Blue Steel. So I guess, spoiler alert, am I correct in assuming that we believe Red Blue and Blue Steel are just the top two decks?
No. I don't. I mean, is that yours, Josh?
No, so
Oh, you're
I
being
put,
honest when you say no.
Yeah,
I put
I
this
don't
up.
think
This
so.
is what Artifacts and LD did in their most recent
Yeah, I'll watch
pod.
this.
I think this is a good maybe starting point for this discussion. We can like weigh in.
I want to hear why Rick thinks red, blue, and blue steel aren't the top two decks. Do you think it's just
no,
the
no,
top
no.
one?
I think it's more red blue not being top.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
you
agree.
think it's a top one.
So you're saying red blue would be an A?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd move red blue. I don't know. From
Has
testing,
blue steel been doing that well in testing?
I like blue steel.
Yeah,
He's a simple man. I like blue steel.
So we're not going to put anybody on the spot. There are some blue steel decks that have been and more than one that have been developed that are having very good results into good players.
I've seen a couple of them.
So.
So
but then
we don't
there,
need
are,
to- yeah.
then there are players like JDRR is currently actively pushing purple steel decks at me day after day, saying, "All right, we've unlocked it. Go play this." I go play it, and I have good win rates against blue steel. So
Are you on 4 Genies?
no, I'm on. We're on Robin Hoods right now.
Oh. Okay, I think
So.
so. When I was playing, like even red, purple, and blue, and like any purple deck right now, I would be going as aggressive as I can, and I'd be back to 4 Genies. I understand Sisu's a menace. I understand that like that sucks, but I want to go. I just want to go fast.
Well, I mean that's what Dave came into our purple steel thread today, and he said, "Why are you cutting genies? That's what blue steel hates
Yeah.
seeing." And
Yeah.
we're like, "Yeah, we understand. We're just trying
Because
So,
that's what put
different
Genie is
knobs,
what
different levers." You know?
Genie's what originally pushed blue steel out. Like I just remember Bad Vegas just like hating his life
Well,
as I would
Daisy
just
and Genie, right? Those
Yeah.
are both really
Four
for
booties.
willpower,
Yeah.
ditching your removal, evasive.
But
Yeah,
that was also when they were cutting, like, so they were cutting Zeus from Blue Steel, and now I assume with Cindy, there's probably, and Tamatoa, I assume A, Zeus is probably making its way back, but also B, I would assume most of the decks are starting to play Strength, so they actually have decent removal into Genie, as well as multiple, like, actually, hold on, let me look
well, because
at
I mean,
one of these.
you could do crazy turns like Bell on one, Tipo, and then like
Even
double
Pete.
Calhoun, and then boom, you can
yeah.
hit a Genie that your opponent played with
Yeah.
a Strength.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Removal is such a weird question right now. Do you need 3-cost songs? Do you need Zeus? I think Zeus is insane and probably the best it's ever been. So I don't know if you could do Zeus and 3-cost songs though. So
I don't think you could do Zeus and let the Storm Rage on,
right.
but I think you could do Zeus Strength.
Yeah, strength seems uncuttable in like pretty much every steel deck right now, and that's pretty much comes down to the fact that it's inkable, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Cut them all, please.
Cut
Yeah, I
them
mean,
all.
because Zeus hits Half Shark and Happy Crap. So like
Yeah.
those are the two cards that you need to answer on seeing them.
you want to know
Shark
what deck
as
in
well.
that I don't know section? By the way, I do think blue purple is actually like low key still pretty good.
I agree. I think it's.
and it
I
goes
think
back
it's
to your
being
Genie
slept on.
comment.
No,
Your Genie comment is pretty solid for it.
but that's what JDR. So I was talking to him and I said I want to play a purple deck. He said you probably need to play blue purple. And then he gave me a list, and it's no set 7 cards. I was like, "That's not fun. I want to play new cards too."
Well, okay,
So
so
So then
hold
he
on.
gave me a purple steel list that had only Cobras. I'm like, "Oh, that's not fun either."
The problem with purple is like after it makes an adjustment, it can beat the I wouldn't say beat. It's 50-50 into the sapphire decks.
Mhm.
But then you're just bad into any aggressive decks.
Yes, correct.
So
with
that's
the
the
current
problem
tuning,
it's
and then
having.
it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well now you have to add. Do you add Cogsworths? Do you add spells? Do you put big Elsas in? Like, and then you start losing percentages in those other matchups, in the blue matchups. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that
But
constant
it's a
tug and pull.
problem that purple always has though. It's like either you beat control or lose to aggro. Right? Like so you just got to go based on like where the meta is going, basically.
I'm
I
trying
mean, it's
to
a lot
look
of
at.
these decks though, and there's not going to be a defined meta for probably quite a long time.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's obvious
Especially
Blue
because
Steel
there's
is out there.
There's a
pretty
big
much.
event coming up soon, which is the Georgia event.
And
What
then when is the
TCS?
Hunter Biden? Is that coming up as well? The memorial, right?
I don't
Down
know.
in Texas, isn't that?
I think that's also soon, right? Like end of March somewhere.
Yeah, it's sometime in March, though, right?
Let me see. I have it here. Oh, the 15th.
I'm just
So
trying to look.
those
like,
will be our, little test to see what the meta looks like. You know.
Yeah, but again, with nothing competitively.
Yeah.
Like, Worlds might not even be. Worlds probably. I'm gonna try that one more time. Hopefully, Worlds is not a set 7 meta, based on the fact that they have not announced it yet.
I hope it's a set 8 meta, because I think set 7 meta is trashy.
There's only 12 weeks to this set.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
if Worlds
They would
was,
have had to announce it already.
that is horrible if they're gonna announce it and be like, now you have to figure out travel
if
and
they
everything.
if they don't announce Worlds by, I'll give it the latest is March 21st, because then that's 2 months. If they don't, if Worlds isn't announced by, I tell you what, let's just call it the 28th. It's not going to be a set 7 Worlds. It won't be.
Because they announced DLCs last year, and they announced all the dates right away, and then the tickets went on sale. It was typically what, it was like a month and a half or 2 months before.
Change, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I expect them to do.
But what about EU Continentals?
But can we get the date?
EU.
It was what, 3 weeks
that
before?
was rough. That was rough. Yeah, that was very rough.
Yeah, because technically, if we go by the most recent events, that's the standard, right?
That's the same thing now. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Continentals. All right.
So
I
next
have
week
a
is Worlds. You
theory.
guys ready?
Next week. Yeah.
I have a theory, and then I have something to adjust this, and then I have to go, because I have to go.
All right.
out,
Let's
baby.
hear the theory.
Yep.
Okay, so my theory is, the Fabled set, that's set 9,
Oh, I hope, dude.
I think that's rotation.
Ooh.
Yep.
And
Ooh,
so
I can see
what
that.
I think is that Worlds will be set 8. They will discuss
Finish it out,
rotation,
and then rotation.
finish, and then
Sure.
rotation.
Yeah.
Right?
I can see that.
That's like, and then I think what they'll do is they'll line rotation up every time with what, like, once Worlds ends, this will be the set that comes next, and then they'll do
Sure.
rotation. Is what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, it's established the
Yeah.
structure now with
Yeah.
with the rotation coming in.
So
yeah,
I
that's
don't.
not a crazy approach to doing it. Yeah.
Now the downside of that is, so A, set 7 is not going to have any competitive tournaments. B, I don't even know if set 8 will have any competitive tournaments other than Worlds, other than what grassroots organizations make, which would be horrendous for the game. Because when does set 8 release?
March or May 30th.
Right. So then that essentially would make
Dead
the
game
next
for
set
6
after
months.
that. Yeah, like that's I don't want that to happen,
No,
but
none of us
logistically I
do.
think it lines up. And then the thing that I'm going to say about this list, so I agree mostly. I still think Red Blue is up there with Blue Steel.
I think if you look at this as so there's two ways to look at a tier list, right? It's purely tiers, or there's powers in the tier as well. So
yeah,
I
think it's in order. I think
it's in
properly
order
ordered.
is correct, right? Like Blue
Yeah.
Steel is probably the best. Red Blue still probably is S tier, but not the S tier.
The lower
I think
end of it.
Blurple
Yeah.
is A or B for sure. I think there's a chance that Yellow Purple is B, and I think there's a chance that Green Blue is probably C or B.
Okay, I was about to say, you better watch where you're going here, bud.
I think yellow blue should be S tier. I think puppies are busted.
We agreed. Remember, we can't
If
play
I
it.
lose to you in our in-house and you're playing puppies, Rick is right. I won't play this set.
Good.
All right, I
I can
take the
predict the
challenge.
future.
Ray,
Challenge
Ray,
accepted.
what do you think of red purple being in B? You were like pretty high on
I
it
think
early on.
it's correct because the problem
Because
with
of
red
this.
purple
Yes.
is
Because
just
I
Blue Steel
was watching
destroys
some
it.
games against Red Blue, and I was pretty happy with what I was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been watching the odd game here and there of the new Blue Steel lists, and I don't like what I see.
Yeah.
So
I think
I
where
have
the bell's
not
going-
played against Sailor yet,
Oh, dude.
but
He's trashing everybody.
Red Blue is not scaring me as much as my Blue Steel matches are.
Yeah.
Maybe
Blue Steel
that's
just looks so
because
consistent.
I know what to expect from Red Blue at this point, and Blue Steel I don't have as much reps against because it's kind of been not around for a little bit.
Well, the other piece of it is, so not only has it not been around, but the play patterns of red blue are extremely similar to what they were last set.
Right.
These play patterns for blue steel are very different.
Yeah.
Like it plays more closely to the Kiwi versions that not a lot of people have played against, but it's Kiwi versions with this weird, like, it's still old school blue steel dynamic.
Yeah. The explosiveness of, turn 4 Happy Crab, turn 6 I have a dime out now.
Literally, like, it's some of the games that I've been seeing, some of the hands, I'm just like, yeah, I just pulled the
or
trigger
not turn 4,
and
turn 5.
There's
I
like a
pulled it.
good like 5 or 6 different blue steel lists or like
Yeah.
decks. Like I wouldn't even say lists, like
What's
styles.
interesting is
pretty
like
interesting.
I don't think there's a blue steel list that's superior. They all have
Not yet.
strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
That's one thing I've noticed as I've run into many versions of it, and me playing the QE version myself. Like, it was funny. I realized that like the Alice builds are actually beating the Tamatoa builds because it's going faster. But then like I'll struggle if you have like Tink and grab your swords because like you just kill everything before I drop my Cosworth.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about the start of a meta is that if you have a deck that you can just run in with and just go fast, you know your plan, it's already tuned. Like someone takes mines, an unchanged Diggy Diggy Hold list, just shows up with it. Would they just win a thing? Maybe.
I think so.
All these other lists are like, oh, maybe I brought the not fully tested and developed blue
just
steel
go
list
wide,
yet.
man.
Yeah.
Go wide, turn sideways, the Boomy special.
All right, that's it for me. Like I said, figured I'd stop and say hi. I don't know when I'll be back consistently, so I'm not coming back. It probably won't
Take
be
your
next
time,
week.
buddy.
Yeah,
go
Take your
enjoy.
time. We've
Go
got
be a
enough.
papa.
We've got enough warm
Oh,
bodies
yeah.
to keep this
Oh.
going.
Oh, by the way,
Not
Simon said it's
warm
you.
bodies. No, that's a disservice. We've got like excellent bodies, excellent hot bodies.
Ugh. All right, maybe you can
Ew.
take a break. HR mandated break.
He's probably sleep deprived. We'll give him a pass on this one.
You need to go back to Ohana.
I was gonna say, man, congratulations, because I didn't say it to you like vocally yet. But
Yeah, I guess you've texted or messaged me, but you haven't said it. Like,
Congrats, man.
not many people in our Discord have said it like vocally because I haven't been in the
'cause you haven't
Discord.
been
yeah, you haven't been around.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's good. It's I'm getting more and more used to lack of sleep, but I'm excited to. Once the cards are here, I'm excited to play a little bit. I've been sad that the program that should not be named hasn't updated set 7 because I'd be jamming some games, but
Yeah. Soon.
I'm always down to play puppies against you.
I told you if you beat me with that deck in the in-house, I'm not playing the set. So
All right.
okay.
All right,
I
Joe,
gotta
good to
figure
see you,
some
man.
text.
Take care.
Take care, bud.
Later.
All right,
So,
Rick or Ray, you guys have any last thoughts on this chart, or do we want to switch over to some limited?
I actually think Green Steel is up there with the S tier. Just because I think it's 50-50 with the blues, and it's actually strong to everything else.
Demon.
Yeah, that's my thought. But
I was just gonna go down
think-
the I don't know list.
I don't think people will play Green Steel.
Oh
though,
yeah.
Just
Let's
because
do
I
that.
think
Let's
it's
go do that
harder
on the
to
don't know
play.
list.
Red Steel was actually not bad last set. It got a few new tools. I
Yep.
think the problem with it now is figuring out if those new tools are worth it or not, and it's going to severely hinder its early progression in the meta. So maybe like C. I actually don't think it's that bad, but like yeah.
I'm scared of it in a blue meta though.
Yeah. I
Like
can
if
see
you're
that.
built around challenging stuff and they just go like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna play a dime and then play like awarded aerial and just do stuff.
My opinion is Red Steel has the tools to beat Blue Steel, but it loses to Red Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
think so.
it can put up a fight against Blue Steel.
Yeah.
Just because it has cards to challenge ready characters, it can buff
That's true.
at the
Yep.
same time.
Yeah,
And also has Zeus to take out like problematic characters, right?
Blue Steel's a bit more board based, right, compared to Red Blue.
Yeah, that's true.
And our friends over at Two Scrooges mentioned like the hard part about like the red steels and like maybe the red yellows is finding a good list to start with.
Right.
And there's not too many good red steel lists out there, so definitely see and wait for some people to cook up some good things though too, if you're looking to play it.
Wushu.
Right, it's going to take so for those who didn't consume that podcast, basically it was lists that will do well at the set of a set are already established good lists that you can maybe just change a few cards in, not too many. But to Fumble's point, Ruby Steel isn't a established list, so it's going to take more work for it. So that might just be time. That might be still more cards. I think they've gotten enough cards now to maybe fight, but might be just more of a meta call, frankly.
Green Blue is actually not as dead as I thought it was initially. It's still dead, for sure. Turn 1 Bell kind of owns the deck, but you could just build it a little bit different. There's item storm decks that actually have 2-0'd me on Blue Steel, and I think it's more unlucky for me not seeing like the combo versus them seeing like a very standard pattern for them of just seeing items and under the seeing my board, something like that. So maybe like again, these are still all C's early, but probably like closer to B.
Yeah. C with potential to bust in, which I think is what the next one will be. The Amber Ruby. I mean, if you're afraid of
so
coils,
many cool cards.
What does coil not touch? Locations.
Yeah. This is definitely
TMP?
a Talman purple list.
Talman purple? Yeah.
I was just about to say.
We're gonna get Jim Hawkins RLS Legacy.
Yeah, locations have proven to be very strong right now.
And one of the killers for locations, because I know that last set there was a run with there was a purple steel location that Josh you ran for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Like Daisy was hard for that, right? Because Daisy would just bottom your locations and all your stuff. If the coil lists are kind of, or the blue lists in general are kind of keeping Amber Steel down a little bit, then maybe less Daisy representation can have locations come back in. Just we're just swapping decks around.
The only thing I don't like about locations now is like Bell's a 3/3 that comes down like super early.
That is true.
So it really
that
helps fight
damage
against locations, right?
You can't do a turn 1 location anymore. Like, Neverlands are not.
Yeah.
Hey,
Fairy Ship survives 1 Bell hit.
Like even Cove is like not as good anymore, I think, because of Bell.
I mean, Bell, Calhoun, boom.
They still got to see the combo, right?
Yeah. But you could probably still there's potential that you could Bell twice turn 2.
It's true.
Like with enough popsicles and draws.
That was a mistake.
We all just kind of looked at a red-green list that kind of popped up. I think it owns, by the way. It's pretty much a 12-character list and all actions. But
that's not a set 7 list yet, right?
I mean, yeah, it is. You don't need set 7. I mean, people are playing.
It doesn't have set 7 cards. Sorry, let me rephrase.
Yeah.
Right, it's just set 6 cards.
So
but it was playing against set 7 cards.
Yeah.
What's funny is red-green historically stomps blue steel, especially if you're playing Robin Hoods, because Robin Hood can get a lot of value, especially if you start doing stuff like You Came Back. But one thing I'm curious, the Bell does create a disturbance, just because they could strength your Robin Hood before you go off, which can be annoying. And also, before you would protect your guys with the Sherwood Forest, but then, yeah, it's interesting. But I think red green still has potential. But
yeah,
I don't know.
It's one of those decks that also got a ton of new tools to play with, so it's hard to say.
Right. Right. We're not even talking about the whole damage archetype.
Yeah, the damage archetype, the evasive stuff, right? Who knows, right?
But I think the return of Hercules is interesting, though. You can build around, and because I think that card, if you play Maleficent, is very strong into blue steel, but it's just bad into red blue.
I don't know. I just feel like blue steels can go so much quicker now, so it's kind of terrifying to just even throw in a dragon into a deck right now.
That's what scares me, especially as someone who's also played the Ray built Robin Hood green red deck, that sometimes it is a little on the slower side, and if blue steel is just going Bell Calhoun, just speed and just characters and just wide and just going. It's gonna be rough.
Right.
Yellow, blue.
This is all you, Ray. I don't even know where to start. Where's the bottom? Is there a tier below? I don't know. I don't want to know.
Well, here's what we'll do. We'll switch don't know to D. So anything we can upgrade things up to C, and then we'll just leave yellow, blue there.
Is there
in
room
D.
for W tier?
W for win. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Or F around and find out.
I mean, the aggro version you guys came up last set, Ray, that kind of like petered out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was like 2 sets ago now, right?
That was 2 sets ago.
No, set 6 was that long, my guy.
I did posted something new and interesting though.
You did just post a list recently.
Yes,
Alright.
that was today.
Oh, I must have missed that.
I think it's interesting.
I don't know if I
now-
can sleeve up yellow cards again.
You
Here it
kind
is,
of
okay.
hyper ramp and throw big butts like Surfer Stitch because you're playing Tipo, Pleekly, so you have fatter characters, and then you get to Stitch early.
You won't catch me playing a Pleekly in my deck, dude. Hell no.
My name's not Jonathan Lamb.
Ooh woo.
Okay. So I mean, and that I think kind of carries over to the next one. Like, there's a lot more burn now in the purple shell. I think you can count it up, and if you include like a lot of burn and count the second goat activation, you can get up to like 44 points of burn from hand. Is that enough to just kind of like close your eyes and just play cards and just hope that you get there?
I mean, I just want to do some quick math. I think 44 is like twice you're winning the game, so I'm not 100% sure.
Not twice if they Donald you.
There you go.
Ooh, just shy. Yeah.
Not only that, you're running characters like Daisy that's like historically is tough for steel decks to deal with.
Yeah.
Alright? Like Belle has to hit it twice, so that's 4 lore. And then if it's just once, you have to be careful because you get Rapunzel. Alright, so
Here's the issue though. Oh no, Daisy bottoms the card, not puts it in the bin. Never mind. I take back what I said.
so you can hit their songs and put it at the
You
bottom
can
too.
hit their songs, you can hit their items, put them at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they can't cycle them into their discard and then just grab them back with Happy Crab.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Blurple, I think we said enough about. I think deck good.
I think Blurple is definitely up there. Probably minimum B, maybe A.
John
Yeah.
will probably figure out a list
I
that
think
like
it will be
works
a
for the
high
meta.
B. High B for sure.
But yeah,
I'm the one I really actually don't know about in this is green purple.
oh man,
Because all the green purple savants
Artifacts'
that I
reactions
know
to all these cards.
are not talking about it. So
Artifact says it's dead.
I mean, what did green purple really get?
Nothing.
Yzma?
they got the
Honey
really
Marin?
janky Ember's New Groove cards.
Well, they
Wait,
got
that's
a
true.
Diablo.
Wait, they're all Emperor's New
Another
Groove.
one.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Diablo.
they're all Ember's New Groove. It's an Ember's New Groove
kinda
curve.
funny.
You go Kuzco Kronk Yzma.
so
Like I love it thematically because it's my favorite movie, but
I will
as a
say that green
competitive player, I
purple
don't really love
discard
it.
probably has more legs now than it did before. You have a lot more tools. You have
Yep.
some weird cards like the Kronk itself can be cool. Like there's a lot of self discard cards, but
Shirkan come
I
to
just
mind.
like the problem is if you go look at them right now, half those green purple cards you just mentioned are all uninkable, and they're all like 6 cost plus or something stupid. So I don't know.
Historically, how has
Buster.
green purple found success? A lot of 1s and 2s and going real fast.
I mean, that's a lot of these decks, though, right? Even Amber
Yeah.
Steel, green purple. I mean, red purple has the strongest ones in the game. I mean, purple in general, but like purple steel too. Like, I mean, your curve limits at like 4, right? Like, so I don't know. It's a very interesting design perspective that they're just kind of not grasping, maybe. But hey, set 8, you know, Reign of Jafar. We're almost there.
Hoping
Yeah,
for better cards.
because Mo Shamblin's list was 2 5-drops, everything 4 and less, and that was the what did he finish like top 6?
Yeah, very far in the event.
He was 5th at Continentals, so
Pretty good.
pretty good.
You could probably
I mean,
run that same exact list and probably have success, to be honest.
Well, I was gonna just say he's in LCCC. Oh,
Yeah.
we could talk about that,
Oh.
right? We didn't talk. We forgot about that. That was
Pull it up,
announced.
Josh. Pull it.
But maybe Mo Shamblin will play. Maybe he'll be the one to preview like a green purple list that's like
Yeah.
going fast, doing nasty things, and just going under all these blue decks that are trying to assemble.
The problem is
Massive dime turns.
I just don't see green aggro surviving a turn 1 bell. Especially if they're also going
that's the
Kavu.
problem.
Yeah.
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 That's a bit annoying.
So do we have the players involved?
It's in the next tweet down. So this is for those who don't know, LCCC. That what does it actually stand for?
Lorcana Cross-Continental Clash.
Legendary
Yeah. So
cross.
this was
Legendary.
the NA versus EU. They did this a little while ago, kind of leading up to Continentals, and here's the next iteration of it. From what
it's like-
we've been told is that there were captains on each side, and they kind of picked the players.
Mm-hmm. And for NA, it's like mostly Worlds qualified players, if not
Yeah.
all, right?
No, I think they're all Worlds qualified,
oh,
and
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's
they all
missing.
are, yeah.
They're missing one. They're missing Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Speci is not world qualified.
Yeah, on
No,
the,
from
on the
NA,
EU, it's a bit
Oh, okay,
different.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Nothing against you, Speci.
I mean, technically, maybe he's casting. Who knows?
That'll be cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, EU's kind of stacked too, man. Artifacts we know is always on a tear. DKP's
DKP.
coming off of probably the strongest end of the season probably anybody in this game's had.
I mean, didn't Federico didn't he win on red blue items?
Yeah, is that who that was?
I think that's who that was. So
Maybe.
that's coming back around, right? So there you go. Just
Domingo
he's-
won Continentals, right? Is that who won?
yeah, that's who won
Oh,
Continentals
there's
with
LD
red
as
purple.
well.
Speak of the
Oh,
guy
we
not on the
spoke
list,
of
dude.
Wonderland.
Yeah.
He shows up.
We were just talking about you, bud.
Oh, really?
Why aren't you playing a cross-continental clash, dude?
Wow. I don't know.
Just comes right in.
Yeah, firing right away, huh?
Oh, and Luke left the call. Oh no.
Yeah, obviously Pavel hates me. You know, he's just like,
You know what?
he didn't pull in the numbers last time. He's not in on it this time. No, like,
Well, I wasn't gonna say it, but
there's a lot of really good players that get to play in these type of things, and I've also shown that I do a lot of casting, so I'm fine with being put in the booth if that's available.
I hope so, man.
That'd be
'cause
cool.
you're great at
Yeah.
it.
All right.
But anyways,
Yeah, where was I
Limited?
going with this? Right, so like Mo Shamblin's in this, so maybe we'll see a green purple coming out of that. Who knows?
Yeah.
Also, like if the reserves get to play, Joshua Paltry on his
His yellow
Amber
purple.
Amethyst Mufasa list from Atlanta. Who
shout
knows?
out to Paltry. He makes these.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
He played a very interesting aggro list too at Continentals, right? Do you remember what it was, Wonder? It was yellow purple, I believe, but it was like a aggro list. So. Or,
Oh, I don't think I
yeah.
ever saw that if it was anywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't see what he was playing, no.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where things go. Or it was green yellow. Either way, it was an aggro list. I know that. So
So this is kicking off next week.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
and we'll
That's
have
pretty
set
quick.
7.
On Monday. Nice.
Wow,
That's really soon.
dude, Sailor's got to get so many crabs. Have we talked about the price of some of these pre-sales?
Oh, this is insane.
What,
Like-
you don't want to pay $90?
I'm actually actively trying to pay $90. That might be cheaper.
Is
Yeah,
it like
I'm hoping
foil 90?
on release day that it dips down to like in between the 25 to 35 range.
That'd be ideal.
No way.
Right here.
I'm bringing some crisp
Cat's out of the
20s
bag.
with me. Wait, is that
Even though
foil?
the cat was meowing the entire time it was shoved in the bag, but
Oh, look at
I
that.
think the card's probably going to
Oh,
stabilize between
$20
$35
shipping?
and
Wait,
$45.
what? Oh, because you're in Canada.
No, but I'm not even logged in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what is $20 shipping?
browser
That's
ahead.
true. Yeah, the browser probably picking up. But this one, $50, 99 shipping. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, mine shows free
Well,
shipping.
401 has them for 60.
Maybe you
No,
pay
no. It
105.
used to be 60.
Dude,
Well, how much is it
imagine
now?
paying $100 for a foil, dude. Holy. Might as well buy the enchanted at that point.
For 3?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing most recent
Slight
sales at
difference.
$46. That's exciting.
Yeah. I don't trust the places. So Gamer's Choice is a local store to me.
Mhm.
I don't trust that they have 37. You know what I mean? Like that seems
What?
like a big ask.
Oh, you're right.
So
I
it
still
would
see
make
for 60.
sense if it
Yeah.
was some
sold out.
absurd price, right? Like if they were like, oh yeah, it won't stay this. I'll be able to buy them from Loki's for like 30. So of course I'll sell it for $70 pre-sale because I'm going to make a killing. But selling them cheapest in market, that's a gamble.
Right. So I think we have three points of sale to balance this against. One is Rapunzel's price just throughout, not at set 1, but just right now she's still at 50.
How much did you guys pay for Rapunzel's in set 1? Or
0.
you opened them?
No, I did not play Rapunzel in set 1.
Okay. So did anybody here buy Rapunzel's in set 1? Because I
paid about
did
50
pay
for
like
mine.
$50 per at the time.
Yeah, but there's a lot of different factors at the time,
Sure.
right? Scarcity being the most popular reason.
But she's still 50.
Yeah.
Right, but she's 50 now because she's been shown as a great card in a staple, and it's
I mean,
a
she's
print
the
that's hard to
best
get,
Amber
right?
card.
She did dip down to the 30 range.
Yep, there was a little bit. So Diablo came out around 30, and then the next weekend it was 50, and then Half Shark came out around 35 and fluctuated between 35 and 45, and dipped down a bit, but then DKP's win skyrocketed it. So Luke, you were laughing like, do you not think Tamatoa will be lower at like actual on Friday, or do you think he will just start at 50?
I mean, I don't think he's going to drop down to 30. I think everyone's going to open them. They're going to say it's a $50 card. I'll sell it for 45, maybe. We have a week. Am I allowed to sell TCG cards right away, or I'm not allowed to sell to release day, right?
Oh, I'm not sure
Or
actually about that.
pre-release, or maybe it's the same day. I know in Magic sometimes there's like the pre-release would happen and I have to wait a week. But since it's a universal release
you
date, I
can sell
might be able to
because
sell
I'm-
right away.
Because I'm walking into an LGS on Friday and buying singles, so I think you can
Okay.
just sell them right away.
So I'll pitch something. I put in my local Discord, "Hi, I am buying Krebs. When you ask me what price, I'll say yes." And 10 other people below me said, "I'm buying Tamatoa as well." So everybody's going to be looking for a playset of Tamatoas, even people who don't normally play blue cards.
Yeah.
All right, so I either traded for or I was lucky enough to open Rapunzel's. But on May 8th, 2024, I bought 3 Rapunzels. I bought it for $30.64, $32.18, and $30.27. That is how
That's a
much
kill
I
in there.
paid
Yeah.
for Rapunzel's. I
Nice.
sold those same Rapunzels for $50 a piece when I acquired DLC Rapunzels.
All right, so you
Stonks.
guys are more experienced in terms of buying singles and stuff than I am. I am a player who is not probably going to be playing a blue deck competitively in the first month. I'll probably wait until set champs, and maybe one of my set champs I'll bust out a blue deck just to mix things up. Should I get Tamatoas at release because we know that this is the price they're going to be at? Or will it just keep going up, or is there going to be a dip at some point?
So since the cat's out of the bag, I think this card will always remain at a crazy high price. I think this set has shown that it's probably the best time ever just to buy singles instead of opening product.
I disagree.
Really? You think that this is an open set?
I think this might be the first open set in like 2 or 3 sets.
Wow.
Where, like, well, maybe I'm hoping. But like in general, I think most of the enchanteds are going to have a good price. But
Okay.
I haven't looked. Maybe I'm just wrong.
So the enchanteds,
who's
I
in
will
charge
say,
of the
are
screen?
best.
Pull up the pre-sale enchanteds.
I actually did a fun thing. So while Josh is looking that up, take a guess. What is the cheapest legendary in the game?
On to.
Oh, like under $2.
Okay. What do you know? Which? Take a guess. Which one?
There's a
Set-
few
set
of
one
them.
gone to?
No.
It's not.
Set one gone to is like
Tika?
$5.
Is there like a Tika? That was really bad.
I don't think it's any set
No,
one.
it's not set one
legendary,
ones
right?
because
Set
people
one?
want them. To
Oh,
buy.
because demand.
Oh.
Okay.
It's like a set 3 or 4 card.
Yep. Set 4 Triton.
Oh, Triton. Yep. 81 cents. Jeez.
Wow, some of these pre-sale prices are crazy. So these are kind of my favorite enchanted since maybe set 1 or 2.
But like, so let's look
Yeah.
at the.
Jeez.
I can't believe Tramp's 100 and that Diamond is 150.
Yo, actually, Loki, not
Because
a bad price
one
to
of these
buy
is
from.
playable.
Yeah, the
One of these
diamond
is
one is.
very playable.
I don't know why, but I
Josh.
really like the art on diamond. Maybe
Dude,
because it's like it's so
stained
simple.
glass.
It's so yeah, it's like stained glass.
Yeah.
Dude, it's clean. It's just
so
clean
clean.
artwork. It's just so nice.
It is nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man.
You think it's stained glass though?
Well, look at the all is found, dude.
There's
Tell me
a
that's not
style
like a
to this.
stained
I just
glass
don't know
look.
what to call it.
The bell is nice. I like
Somebody
the bell.
said it was like storybook.
Yeah, I think that was me. It's like actually, I think it's
Well,
like
'cause the-
tapestry, like medieval tapestry. or
The
something.
artist for Tamatoa does like illustration books.
Yeah.
So,
The Aura's pre-selling for $600, bro.
dude, just
That's
buy it.
What?
insane.
You got that.
What? All right. All
Oh,
right.
I hope.
all right, how about this?
I
Can
wanted to
we-
open a Tamatoa enchanted. Now I want to open a Aurora
Dude,
enchanted
out of
and
stock.
flip that right
That's
away.
actually crazy.
Yeah, out of stock.
Can you sort
sales.
by most expensive enchanteds
Just for this set or in general?
in general?
Wouldn't that be Elsa?
Well, but yeah, what's number
Well,
two?
yes, I want to see what's like
Number 2
like
is
4 through like 8.
Maui and then Mufasa.
Mufasa's 3 last I checked.
Oh,
Enchanted. All right,
high
style
low.
low.
Tinkerbell and Surfer are actually both above Mufasa right now.
So this is currently
Wow.
this set's gonna have 2 of the most expensive enchanteds in it.
Which
Wait,
so
what is
Toa-
that bell doing
Wait,
there?
what do you
Look
think
Look at that
the
bell
That's
for
a
a grand.
thousand.
So remember he's also I don't know, is that Canadian import tax for Bell?
After terrorists.
No. This is
It
all
says
American
market
prices.
price of 238.
Yeah, I would just go off market prices for now.
Click on that bell. Do you think someone just bought out Bell?
Dude, Spessy did it.
There's only one listing with photo
Spessy did
available.
it. Let's
Oh.
look at the. there's
Oh.
just one.
Oh,
Just one.
What's
PSA
the
10?
view more data?
LPS.
Oh, it's
Or
PSA
sorry,
10.
CGC 10.
A CGC? Yeah.
On the view more data, is there just it's confusing to me that there's only one of this enchanted on the market.
So the last sale.
Oh, yeah, just not. Oh, there
Nobody's-
were a bunch bought on the 20th, but
yeah.
There's a
4.
ton
Someone
on
bought
the
a
market
set.
for me. I see 19 listings, 210
oh, is
license
this
plates.
a Canadian
It's
thing?
Canadian issue, dude. We're looking at CAB.
Oh, maybe people just
Come
won't
on.
sell to the Canadians.
I hate you guys.
Well, yeah.
It's okay. We're not really doing great down here, anyways.
I saw your egg prices.
Considered moving to
It's pretty
Canada
crazy.
twice.
Where is
last month and a
Bill?
half.
Okay, there she is. So let me.
And I'm like, oh wait, I don't think my wife can transfer since she
Oh,
works
okay,
for
yeah.
the
There's,
state.
there's a bunch in here.
So your listings are showing more, huh? Why does mine?
Oh, did you change your location or something?
There's a 199 one. That looks enticing.
Man, I've never been a fan of the 4-cost Bell, but man, how can you not like the Enchanteds from set 1? You don't like them?
But
No, I'm not a fan.
Wow, shame.
so the second most expensive enchanted, if currently,
Yep.
is the Aurora.
Aurora.
Aurora, man, the Royal
Aurora.
Juror. Like,
Yeah.
come on. And then Tamatoa is out of stock, so people aren't even pre-selling it because it's so absurdly like they don't want to
Is there
lose
any
money
recent
by
sales on
pre-selling.
Toa?
Well, I
That's
think
actually not sure.
well, I think it's more about maybe people posted it, and they snagged it up at a price that it might have been going for because they think it's going to be higher.
But maybe this is a him thing too, a Josh thing, because it says no Elsas and no Tinkerbells. Are the
So
Tinkerbells
there's only
really
one
sold
listed.
out?
There's only one listed Tamatoa right now at 300, and there's been 6 sales at around 300. Yeah. Pre-sale prices, baby.
So
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. Plus the shoe is 200, and
Dude, the shoe looks great. Like visually.
it does kind of seem like the Enchanteds from this set are kind of chasey. Like people like the Enchanted logo more, or the
It
style.
is much better artwork than the last one. I do like it much more.
Yo, go show Ursula's return real quick.
I mean, like look at that Elsa, and then look at the aura right next to it. Just the border, the design,
The aura,
is
yeah.
so much better.
Yeah. I do wish we had like
Here, Josh, I'm just
other
gonna,
chase
I'm gonna
cards.
steal from you so we can see North American pricing.
Check your
or
pricing.
or US pricing
sorry,
or
North
whatever.
American pricing.
Sorry,
Okay.
that's me. That's
we are one now anyway. So
all right. So this is what we're seeing.
Yeah, but so I'm fine with us becoming one big thing, but can we put like the Canadians in charge?
Yes, please. Yeah. Agreed.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool seeing like Aurora and Tamatoa just slot in right there. I had called that Tamatoa would be a top 3, so I guess there's time to see that settle.
I'm gonna say something ridiculous. I really like the set 1 in Aurora more.
I think they are close to being. I think it's enough of a preference choice that I'm not offended if you like one or the other. I think they're both gorgeous.
The art is the art's really good, but the border, like the framing, is better in the new one.
What
in my opinion.
Lorcana has
I do
me.
like this new style more.
Yeah.
Yes.
What Lorcana has surprised me though is art has actually been kind of king, right? Like some of the cards that look the best outside of being playable are still some of the more expensive ones.
I did not see. I really liked the blueprint ones that
I like them
people
too.
don't like. Some people don't like them, but like that Sisu, and I don't like that.
I don't like the Sisu either.
I think
It's
Ursula
like the
Return
style,
probably
the-
has the worst looking Enchanted.
She's still here.
I mean, I just finished my collection of set 5.
I like her.
Enchanted. That's my favorite type. I love those. I think they're gorgeous. You can see the Clarabelle right here. It's just beautiful. The Mufasa, beautiful.
Yeah, so this is like a me thing. Like when I watch an anime and all of a sudden the gorgeous animation cuts to this like 3D CG stuff, it makes me want to be sick. And that's like
And that's kind of what the
some
Sisu
people.
is.
Yeah, that's what the Sisu looks like to me.
Well, and so for those who might see me around Discord, I love Robin Hood. My character is a little Robin Hood guy. I don't love this one.
Yeah.
I
me
don't
neither.
I don't love that set's choice to have some of them kind of look like canvas oil paintings.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to knock
See-
it. I know that some people like that. It just wasn't for me.
I think it's the not having a good background. I think killed the Robin Hood, because I think the Robin Hood
Oh,
itself.
you mean standing in
is,
front
like,
of a
very
stone
well
wall
done.
isn't a intriguing
Yes.
background?
I mean, whose background is
And
better?
like the
Sisu or
question
Robin
is,
Sisu.
I mean, a lot of them have not great backgrounds, and I'm assuming that was not an artist design choice. I'm assuming that was an art direction choice.
That's fair.
Yeah, well, because
Like,
they're
we've
all
seen
trying to
a lot of
find
these-
a theme. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
and we've seen a lot of
Diablo
these
looks
artists have.
cool, though.
I like Diablo.
Diablo's
I like,
sick.
I like
I like
Diablo.
the contrast.
Right, it pops on the
Even though
black
it has
pops.
like a black background. Yeah,
Yeah.
it still looks really
Yeah, the
good.
Diablo, and then is it Mini from that same set? The
Oh,
that
the
one,
Musketeer.
I know I
yes,
really
the
did
yellow,
not like the super
amber one,
goof.
Yeah. I will say,
Morph
like,
is probably one of the good
Oh,
ones too.
Morph is so good.
from
I
that
love
set,
Morph.
yeah.
You're welcome. Also, I love the green. The green Enchanteds always look so good to me.
So Luke, I will say this: the blueprint ones, they look much better in person than I think they
Yes.
show on any kind of screen.
Yeah.
The color popping is very nice.
Like, look at that other Robin Hood. Is that
yeah,
like the
this- and
sharpshooter?
This is my
Insane.
favorite Enchanted. Like, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I was so glad when they came out with another Robin Hood that I could happily have. Love that card. And Snow White. Oh yeah, so many good
Yeah,
cards.
I will say, like, I like that they have a theme for each set of enchanteds, like a different art style, theme direction. Like, even though some are hit and miss, I like that they like do that.
And I would say that the theming isn't even as strong in set 7 as it was in 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think there are a little bit. They gave them a little bit more leeway, or at least that's my guess. Is they gave the artists a little bit more leeway. Yes, they all still look like, if you put them in a pile and said set the enchanteds out per set they were, you'd probably get all the 7s together.
I would almost like it if they split the enchanteds in half, and each set, half of the enchanteds were like the default basic enchanted style, and then the other half were whatever that set's specialty enchanteds were. That way, if you have people who don't like the blueprints, half of the enchanteds are still going to be the way that you expect them to be and you like. If you don't like whatever crazy art style they decided to like go for the enchanteds of that set, only half of them will be that way. Like the Electrified Owl Archimedes, like, I like that style, and they did that on a lot, but I'm sure some people wouldn't like it. And I could see it adding an extra, like, rarity. Like, you could even bust it into 2 types of enchanted rarities, right? Like,
Give us a nice, like, full art, non-foil, different rarity. Something that's cool. It's another chase. It improves product, purchasing power. Yeah. Everyone's favorite, Fart Jasmine.
Disgusting. Get out of here. Archimedes.
Or I just took shrooms, Yen Sid.
Man, some of these are actually such solid pickups though for like $40.
Wait, yeah, well, Jensen's kind of cheap. What the heck?
Well, yeah, because they're never printing a broom again. So
I don't know. Well,
Yeah, get your playset of enchanted Yensids now before they print a 1-drop broom.
compared to normal Yensid, isn't normal Yensid like also like surprisingly high? Like, isn't he like $10?
Are you thinking about the special Yensid in
Oh, maybe.
the
I don't think
Ursula's
legendary
return
Yensid's
thing?
much.
I love Arthur. I'm so sad.
Ooh, it might be time for me to get some look at this family. That's a card I like.
Oh, $6 for regular Yensid is not bad. That's actually quite a valuable card in terms of that set. So, pretty interesting. And then we have our fabulous locations.
Yeah, as we get lower.
What are you guys thinking about? Like, they didn't print a single location this set. They barely printed any songs. It feels very strange to me that they're kind of like doing some things and not like completely cutting out some others. But
Well, so the locations I think kind of make sense if they're going to make way for the Duel Links. I think with how they structure the Duel Links, they were kind of required to put more characters in. I am concerned, and I have a theory that I'm chasing, that they had to sit down and revisit how they're doing songs.
yeah,
And you can see that they kind of petered out. It's like 7, 6, 5, like were the last 3 sets of how many songs total there were. The starter decks for set 8, one of them shows 2 characters what looks like to be singing. Maybe we're going to get another song focus set. So maybe they've just been kind of like laying low for a little bit. I don't know.
actually, there was a cool theory that I saw about Raina Jafar where the Stitch is holding the Plasma Blaster and the Mulan, I think, is holding like the Imperial Cannon or whatever that card is called. Or
Last Cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so something about like them having like equip effects would be cool. I don't know. I'm interested to see what they could do. I just hope it's not like a one-off effect and then they don't print it again. And hopefully,
right, like a thing together, like oh yeah,
or
and then they never see it
It's
again.
going to be a Stitch that just says if you control a pet plasma, or like your Plasma Blaster costs 2 less to play and 1 less to activate.
something. And you're probably right.
I'm playing Plasma Blaster now.
No, you're
Pinging everyone. You gotta play Tragic Hero with it too.
I hope you're right though, Luke,
Relentless.
that this is like a more like a better set to open. The foils look great. I'm excited for that. I already know my buy list of foils that I would like, and it's not too many.
So
yeah,
So one thing that's interesting is the action pirate archetype, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of new cards. And that's the thing, is that gives you like a few rares you want, maybe some rares and secret rares from previous sets, but those are dirt cheap, like Pirate Matters cards, right? So like there's a world that like quite a few different cards become $4 or $5 at base rare level just because people are trying to brew these new decks that require these new cards for. And I am getting 2 cases. I've already paid for it. I just have to hope it shows up by my stream Friday morning. Unlikely, but maybe partway through the stream I'll be able to open some product. And I contacted my LGS and I was like, I got this deal for this price. Like, can you match this? I would much rather give you this money. And like, I didn't even think it was really finagling as much as I'm like, if these people are buying this, my LGS should be able to get the same price point and like do the same thing. And it's like, sure, I'll try that. And they're like, actually, we sold all of our product in pre-sales, basically. We have just enough to do this. And then in the Discords, I saw a bunch of other people saying the same thing, that like all of their LGSs basically sold all of their product. So it's going to be interesting. When do the big box stores get it, though? And is that going to actually drastically change the market?
I mean, I feel like historically the last few sets, the box stores haven't like done too well sales, right? Like I remember Rise of the Floodborn, there was like quite a vast line outside of a Best Buy near me, just to get some. But now it's definitely like you walk into any Target and you're seeing Lorcana probably on every shelf, just taking over. Now, if you're right though, if there were your LGS stock was lower, it's possible.
So
I
even in our locals in GTA, I am noticing too, like talking to some of the local game store, they are purposely stocking less of Lorcana just because they're stuck on old sets that they can't move. And I think that contributes to like beginning overpriced hype, and then everything dips, and then they over ordered. And no, I think people are also starting to realize that like basically, I guess also like there's a trend of like, oh, this set has nice enchanted, and then people will go crazy, buy lots. And then once they see cards are bad, then enchanters aren't as great, then they stock too much, and then they end up taking loss. Because I know some stores ends up selling like Inkland dirt cheap now, right? Like
what a detour!
Oh man, those pictures.
Yeah.
For the box for $25, those like 8 boxes. I'm like, I wish I saw that. I would have bought all of those boxes for $25 a piece.
So speaking of opening and buying boxes, we have a few limited events coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I'm going to be doing sealed Friday, on-demand drafts also on Friday, so I'm excited. Are there any cards that you guys think will be shining for limited this weekend?
Few, but I don't remember them.
I got 2. Snow White.
Yeah.
There is a. This
I think
set
Rhino is a bomb.
Rhino, yeah.
Just because if you look at the set, there's no hard removals.
Yep.
It's all combat synergy. So
That's Rhino.
giving your
A hamster.
character +2 like toughness mitigates like those combat tricks of taking care of your taking out your characters.
He costs 6, uninkable. I don't know.
Yes.
Pascal,
But then
though.
it's literally a bomb though. If you go wide, you drop that like
Sure.
It can
yeah.
be.
it's hard to deal
He's
with.
probably
Can
an
be
ideal
alright.
bomb. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also he's a rare. Before we started tonight, I took a look at just commons and uncommons because that's where you're going to see most of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think most of the rare pluses are going to be good and they will be bombs. But I'm looking at like the 1-drop card soldiers, the Amber Steel Penny, Queen of Hearts, the new Phantom Blot, which is what Rocket Stitch
What
redone.
rush cards do we have this set?
That's the one.
There's
The Rocket
quite a
Stitch.
bit.
Yeah.
There's
And
a
then
good
there's
four
also
drop one,
there's the
too.
Beagle Boys, which
That could be really good and limited. Yeah.
could be interested.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think there's one thing too for people to know that like there is a lot of strong evasive characters that are big questers as well in this set. So like drafting evasive characters is actually a very viable strategy as well.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean I think that's like the first stage of doing very well at limited in Lorcana. It's like core set and magic. It's like flying evasives.
Flying, yep. Evasives, yep.
Are very, very good. And it's, I mean, how amazing were you, Ray, when you were a 5-cost 3 lore quester?
Yep.
Like, you were a bomb, bro. You were a bomb. And I think there's something similar to that. There's an uninkable 4-cost 3 quester, right?
Yeah, Rick
there's
was
that
saying
Pascal.
Yeah.
Fun fact
Yeah.
about Ray, the card, not the person. I did lose a game in a DLC to that card, and I'm still mad about it. I hate that card.
Like Pascal?
Yeah, Pascal's pretty good. I think
the rare is Pascal an uncommon?
he's uncommon. Yeah,
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Uncommon 4-cost. I like Perla a lot. You get an evasive body that can just sit there and quest for 1, sure, but give support out, and you just keep going with her, and then use your other like lobies to kill stuff.
Fidget.
yeah.
Fidget
Fidget
is
is a
fire.
bomb.
Fidget is
Fidget
huge.
is insane and limited.
And it's also like one of the good, like you can have just Fidget and use it to answer a couple of evasives
Right.
if you
Yep.
need to. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, you just gotta hope to open some good things here, huh?
Yeah.
why
That's
are they
I
all
like,
in commons?
I like draft
They
more
are all interesting.
because
And then this one has a
like,
requirement, and this one has a requirement. So a lot of
Yeah.
the evasives are in the uncommon
And
space.
we mentioned it,
But they're not
before.
rares, at least.
There's very little removal
Well,
in this
no,
set.
I'm only looking at uncommons and commons. So
Yeah.
there are
There's only one, right? Like action removal.
There's out of action as a
Yeah.
hard removal, and then there's double trouble as a ping. So that's why.
trouble.
Yeah, that's why I think Panic is like a really, really good card.
Oh yes, Panic is very strong.
Yeah, 4-cost quest for 2
It's like
inkable.
a 2 damage.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which one's Panic?
It's also one of the few answers to possibly Snow White.
Oh, the baby bell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then boom, quest for 2.
Snow White.
You
yeah.
love that.
So this was. I actually feel that the bell, the 3-cost bell that does the 1 damage, was like a sleeper limited card that I think people just didn't respect because it only quested for 1, and it was just like I used that. So to go back to the conversation about limited archetypes, it's like evasives is like tier 1, but occasionally there is other things you can do. Like I drafted a Mystic Rose style deck, and it was like pretty good. I also drafted like a Knights deck, and that was pretty good.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see which non-evasive archetypes you can go for in this set that like do work.
I like rush cards maybe more than evasives. I like
I
being
think
able to
challenge
minus
ready characters is really good. Like
yeah.
Li Shang.
Do you know what can't be hit by rush characters?
Oh.
Evasives.
Well, Beagle Boys can make it evasive.
No.
Or no,
Nope, not
It's,
evasives.
resist.
Give it rush and resist.
Emerald Coil
Yeah,
can make it
no,
evasive.
right, you give it to your evasive character.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you have Emerald Coil. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lack of draw. There's 3 draw actions.
Mhm.
And then like the best maybe draw body in the common and uncommon pool is I just got rid of set 7. Hold on. It's the Bucky.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't really tend to go out of my way to draft draw. Or at least I didn't in Magic. I could see it maybe being better in Lorcana,
Yeah.
but
I just hope we all
I'll
open
play
foil
friends,
Toas,
but-
though. Right? I don't
Yeah.
even care if it's bad.
Well, there's people that just money draft, right? They don't care
Oh,
about
I'm
win or
dumb money
lose. They
drafting.
just
I'm-
take the rare.
I'm pretty sure everyone would take
My-
this money drafts like the first.
I hope I
Yeah.
open
Few days.
Toa. I gotta go,
The
by
opening
way.
weekend, I'm pretty sure it's all
Yeah.
money drafting.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be past something absurd because there's 2 rares in the packs, right?
Yeah.
So
So what happens
if they don't
there's
know,
a pack, enchanted and a legendary? What do you pick?
means I'm getting the legendary after they take
It's
the
like,
enchanted.
Do you want the enchanted Aurora, or if you want the Tamatoa? It's like there you're looking at both. He's like,
Dude, I think I would take the enchanted
Yeah, enchanted.
just
sell
so I
it.
could
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
hear the person freak out when I pass on a Tamatoa.
Yeah, also true. Yeah.
that'd be hilarious.
I think it's pretty obvious, but Baymax is pretty cracked in this format too. Being able to
Yeah.
potentially trade out somebody and then heal it up with a bigger body could be good.
No, but it's universal shift, so
Right, but you
you
heal.
remove all damage. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, never mind.
So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you have like a I don't know, like a 2/4,
Oh,
something
that's
that
really strong.
can
actually.
kill something,
or a
and then
0/5
you heal it,
bodyguard.
and then you upgrade
5/5.
it.
The 0/5 bodyguard guy is pretty.
Well, that's not
pretty
killing anybody, but yeah.
Yeah. It's not.
I think they could make it more complicated if you can only like play three combination.
Yeah.
Can't do that anymore with the dual links, but yeah, that could have been
Yeah.
interesting at some point.
Yeah. I think
I
Cheshire
looked-
Cat isn't bad. It's a removal.
I looked at it. There
Yeah.
are some decent actions that could get rid of the vanish units if you try to do those. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't recommend them.
That was something I commented on because the Cheshire Cat I was blessed to have that as a reveal card, and I was like, it might not see constructed play, but it is gonna crush some limited games,
Oh,
like
yeah,
a big
for
body
sure.
quest for 2,
And
take
do
out some
damage.
character that just challenged yours.
Then we get the
Lady Cluck.
a huge nice 6/5 for 5. That's a big guy.
You know,
And then the
getting Lady
TikTok also
Cluck
good.
and Maid Marian is probably a really annoying combo too.
That sounds
Yeah,
broken.
I mean nothing. I'm pretty sure 6 is the highest. Like Cluck's gonna at least block one full thing. Oh no, wait, Taka. There you go. Never mind. Unplayable.
Damn it, Lady Cluck.
Miss Bianca, when I was sitting and looking at all the uncommons and commons, putting them in a list, almost all of them were allies. So I think you could probably just go like Miss Bianca on 4 a whole bunch of times, and that's gonna be good.
I think the red and blue coil is very playable and limited as well.
Oh yeah.
Because it allows you to trade
Yeah,
up.
trading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most
I
coils
think every
are not
one
bad.
of the coils could
Yeah.
randomly be playable. Even
Yeah.
the heal, like
I don't know about the heal.
I mean, if you're playing a bunch of Biancas,
Yeah.
like
Lady Cluck.
Lady Cluck. Okay.
Yeah, Lady Cluck's not killing anything though. Maybe.
yeah, but they might have to attack. They might have to challenge her over more than one turn.
I think Steel Coil's the only unplayable one for me.
Yeah. Limited, I'll say that
I
too.
don't know
Do
what
you even
filtering
draw?
does. I mean, but you're filtering. I don't know. I mostly just play every single card I get
yeah,
in
I
Limited.
Actually-
would
I mean, you
probably
have to play every
agree
single card you
that
get in draft.
Yeah.
I think
Probably
Penny
wouldn't
is
play
pretty
the
good
Amber
too,
Coil or
and
Steel
limited.
Coil often.
Yeah.
Penny's really good. Yeah.
Penny's good.
The Emerald Coil is absurd. That's the evasive one, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the evasive one.
The nice
I
thing
guess
is
we
that
should have
they
talked about that.
Yeah, the nice thing is that they changed or not changed it, but at some point like 2 or 3 sets ago they moved all these just your turn to start of your next turn. So that's nice. Cuz like
They wanted
what set 1 Tink was just right now.
Yep.
So they made it better.
So it's like a better and worse longboats.
Yeah.
I think Miss Bianca is pretty crazy and limited actually. A turn 4 5/5 body.
Yeah.
If you draft like you have also like smaller allies.
Ray's not even listening to me anymore. It's okay.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at my own dream board and I'm like, oh, what's there? Oh, Helga
And
Sinclair.
Coil with that? Like,
Did we mention
you
Helga?
just... Not yet.
So Helga is interesting to me. I typically don't really like these 0x challengers because I feel like they're just gonna kill one thing and then they die.
Yeah.
Well-
Well, then they did their job, right? If someone drops a Pascal on you, this is like the perfect character to throw out to take
Sure.
out the Pascal.
Sure.
I like that it probably is at least taking something out, or like you quest with it and then they have to like give away, like it could swap the tempo in your favor, possibly, depending on the situation. And it should be trading up, and that's kind of important.
But there is a
Can't
mini
wait
combo,
to use her as bait.
Gizmo Duck with the double trouble.
There are only 2 commons and uncommons, and they're actually uncommons both with 3 or more lore. Pascal being the one of them, yeah. But Coda.
Bruh, can you imagine, like, your opponent going Coda, next turn Cluck?
The lady.
Or Coda into Fidget. You just pause Coda one turn, and then all of a sudden you're questing for 5 evasives with 2
Turn
characters.
2, Prince Charming, the 0/5 bodyguard.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That would definitely let Coda live for probably a turn.
But yeah, Fidget plus Coda.
Yeah, Fidget plus Coda, that's scary.
Can't wait to
Yeah.
draft every Fidget I see.
It's gonna be
I know
a
I'm gonna
fun
pass. I'm gonna pick these expensive cards, pass the Fidgets, and then lose to the Fidgets in the draft.
That's how it normally is, right? You take the money and then you end up losing to the good cards.
Like, this is what I would rather have as a challenger, I think, than the Helga.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
I mean, it most likely is only challenging once, but you get a quest a few times.
Yeah.
And it's inkable.
Yep.
This should have been a 1 cost. Then this would have been really good. It's like, why a 2
Better hook.
costs?
A nice combo could be the hero into Baymax or the
That would
hero
be-
into himself. I don't know how readily you'll be able to pull it off, but
Do we really want 4 more 1-drop Emerald Diablos?
no, I don't think we do.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, we do. I need more shift targets.
I think it's gonna be a fun set. I think it's gonna be a fun limited pool. I think there's a lot of strong cards. I think there might be some non-games with Snow White, but I think you can probably also just race.
So let's say, okay, now that we're on the topic of drafting and limited play, now, not everyone knows how to draft properly. So
Sure.
averagely, like when you guys do your deck building, what do you guys go for first? Are you already looking at your cards and be like, okay, this is kind of the deck I want to build, more aggressive, more evasive heavy, or you're looking more like, more combat tricks, challenging kind of play, or more just people just draft small guys, big lot of like lore questing power, and just they can just spam the board, because this set does have cards where you can spam the board and then just play like Restoring Atlantis, and then they can't challenge your guys, so you can probably just like quest all in, and the next turn quest again and win.
Can't wait to lose to that card over the weekend.
Like, there's just so many ways to build a deck and limited. Like,
I've
using these
personally,
cards.
in draft specifically, had the best luck with just having the bigger butts that can trade and just control the board, and then just, at some point my opponent's just top decking their 1 card and I have 4+ characters.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, that's a very good archetype.
Yep.
You just have to have answers to evasives.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how that archetype
I like
loses.
just curving out, right? Just curving out,
Yeah.
having characters that answer things along the way. Like, I don't really like going for like an aggro or rush style, like bunch of 1-drops, 2-drops kind of thing. Because, I don't know. Like, maybe in this set it might be able to work because of the limited removal. But generally, it doesn't really work out too well because there's a lot of like
They
decent
don't have 2
vanillas.
lore pips.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They're not actually aggressive characters. Like,
Exactly.
if you got a couple Codas and Pascals,
Maybe.
yeah, like a bunch of pennies and other thing. Like, what 1-drop 2 questers do we have? None.
I don't think there's any, right?
no, they come in at
There's
2 only.
Grandmother Fa, Baymax.
Oh wait, hold on. Let's look at the whole pool. Yep, nope, none.
Yeah, there's no 1-drop.
Got to be at least
Yeah,
2
one
or
drop
above
levels
to
too, yeah.
see 2 lore.
And we've got 2 commons, 3 common 2-drops. Penny, Baymax, and Grandmother.
Yep.
And I think Grandmother could be pretty good. Like, it's slightly better support.
Mary is actually not too
She's
bad,
a little weak.
Yeah.
but it is on the weaker side.
Who?
Mary, because you can give
Oh.
a chosen
Oh,
character
I think she's-
-2. So that's like
I think she's
combat tricks
quite
too,
good.
right?
Yeah, I think she's quite good.
Mm-hmm.
So there is like potential,
and-
like go wide, spam bunch of these 2 questers, and then
Yeah,
just
well,
play
and that's the thing.
Restoring
When
Atlantis.
I was sitting here building like a list, I got to like 38 cards. I'm like, oh, I would be happy seeing any of these.
Mm-hmm.
Like
There's enough.
the floor is higher, I think, for this set in terms of
So
Heroes OK cards.
if you're not going to make color restrictions for limited, so you can draft any card, right? So what's like the main issue with this type of thing is people just draft the most powerful card in each pack, right? And then what's the skill is what identifying the best card. So the ways you get around that is either one, color restrictions. Another way is archetypes, synergies, right? So one card is just synergizes with another. So if you pick this, then later another card will be better for you than a different card. And it creates those scenarios. And you can kind of see they're doing that. We have puppy synergies, right? We have damage matters synergies. We have a bunch of item synergies, which may or may not be usable. The ally synergies, I think, will be very easy to use
Oh
and
yeah,
activate.
Jasmine.
That's
Oh, yeah.
another thing to consider too, right? Because if someone's already far in within a certain strategy, they probably wouldn't take certain cards that's not fit their deck build, right? So sometimes like you get past cards that actually, hey, this works with my deck, right? So there are like some strategies in terms of like thought process of building.
Well, it's like they might also take worse cards,
Yeah.
passing you a good card. So like all sorts of interesting things there. And that also just gives archetypes, right? Like if you're in a draft, you can like push for like puppies matter, because a lot of these puppies are okay, but they care about puppies, right?
Yeah.
So people are only going to be drafting them if they care about puppies, right? Like why are you going to draft the lucky if you don't have puppies, right?
And
Or
I think
Pepper.
the common
Man,
thing
is there really
I
only
see...
3
No.
puppies?
That's the characteristic puppy.
So the common thing I see, like a drafting mistakes, but most people make as well when I play at my locals, is they take all the good cards, but then after they start to realize that they took a lot of uninkable. So they end up building a deck that just bricks on uninkable.
I try to draft not more than 10 uninkables. I play 30-10. Is what I try to go for.
So my magic
that is something I
number is
recommend
like-
you keep count of.
Yeah, it's 8 and under. I
Yeah.
feel like if sometimes it's more than 8 uninkables, you'll tend to break
greedy.
more often.
I think it also depends on where the uninkable is.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just about to say.
Cost-wise.
Like, I also like 8, but if there's some really like powerful unequals, then yeah, I don't mind pushing to 10 or something.
I developed this strategy, cube drafting, so it's probably not right.
I mean,
I will
Cube
say,
also
I-
you have more powerful cards, right?
I think
Yeah.
there's not enough puppies to support a puppy.
No, I don't
List.
think so either.
So what does Freckles do
It's -1 attack for the turn. When
Yeah.
it,
when it comes into play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like he's fine just on his own, right?
He's mid, but yeah,
Very
you don't
mid.
want like 5 of them.
Yeah.
That's
And
the
then-
problem. But Pepper...
And then Pepper's the other
the ink one.
common.
I don't mind it because she goes to your inkwell, so that's a ramp. If you have more
Yeah.
like heavy cost
Any
character,
puppy.
yeah.
But then the third puppy tag is a rare, and then the 2 payoffs are rares and super rares.
Yeah.
I don't
Which
think
is the one that you get your ink.
Pepper.
Pepper is the one you get your ink. So
No,
I think
no,
she's
you
decent.
get from your ink.
Oh, Pongo.
Pongo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, my theory is you open a Pongo
And then you
or
push
a
for it.
Perdita,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you push into puppies. Or at least you can value them more. I don't think you ever want the canine crunchies. Maybe you do. Like, maybe if your entire deck is all
It's puppies.
No, even then I don't think so.
No.
Or Roger. I think Roger's also just not a good card.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was like
Perdita
one
is,
power
right?
and one toughness, then it would be like a for sure.
Hmm.
No, I don't think, Because I don't think Ward is that important.
I mean, she's actually not that. I mean, she's not bad, but she's not good.
But she's good if you have a lot of puppies, and I don't think you'll have a lot of puppies.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Because you also have to remember...
I'm going to drop a
packs-
puppy deck.
Well, no, you have to remember that packs are one color per uncommon, and they're both blue, so you can't even get...
Those are commons, though.
But you can't get a Pepper and a Freckles in the same pack, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah, but if you're
commons.
drafting,
I thought you were saying
people
commons.
pass it around, so you
Right,
could.
but yeah.
Because people will look at me like, this puppy sucks, and then you just
But
take all the
somebody else...
puppies.
But if there's one other person at the table going puppies, they're going to take the singular
Yeah,
one.
then the day is ruined.
Yeah.
The dream.
Yeah, it would
the
be.
dream team's
There
done.
needs to be an uncommon puppy that's good.
Yeah.
Or there needed to be... And there also needed to be... One of these needed to be amber. So that you
Well,
could
no, there
possibly
is
get...
a.
Like in a sealed pool, right? Then you could get like 2 puppies in a pack.
I think there is an uncommon you're missing. That makes the archetype a little better.
Thunderbolt?
It's the dog that has puppy shift.
Oh,
Oh,
Thunderbolt.
yes,
Yes,
the
yes,
puppy
yes.
Thunderbolt,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. Yeah,
Thunderbolt
but he's
is good.
yeah, and I think he's potentially just fine on his own, even if
Yeah.
you don't have the puppy shift.
But maybe shift 3 is still strong too. And
Well,
plus
no.
For 2,
But he can't shift on anything but a puppy.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but
Right.
if you're in the puppy deck, he becomes
Well, I'm
better.
just
is
saying.
what
I'm saying on 5 a 3/7 that quest for 2. I'm happy with that.
It's also good on 3 to
Yeah,
quest
well,
for 2
yeah.
or challenge something down. Quest and then let your penny that you played. Actually, that wouldn't work because
Or
your puppies
next-
cost 2.
Or next turn you play Pascal and
so
move the
puppies is
damage off
probably
him.
not the archetype to go into.
I think Thunderbolt is the signal that you then want puppies, not
So what
Pongo or
is-
Perdita.
How many puppies are there in general?
3.
Across all of the sets.
Oh, a lot more.
4, 5, 6. I think 6. No, 7. I want to say 7.
You can also play 99 of the Dalmatians.
Yeah, you can also play up to 99.
So that's 199 puppies.
So there's 4 other types. There's the
7.
base, then
Nice.
there's 1, 2, 3.
So Lucky's good. Rolly is okay in limited. Like
Fine.
in limited, I would take Rolly. I'd happily take Rolly in limited. Patch is not too bad in limited either. He's like I'd play him on curve. So if you were doing a chaos draft,
No. You don't even do a chaos draft. These are all set 3. You say let's do a
you
set
somehow
7
do
and 3,
it.
a 7 and 3 together, and you go puppies.
but more realistically, in a chaos draft,
draft,
you
yeah.
could probably try it and lose. But
And lose, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's about it for limited. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's all I got, and I think that covers everything on my agenda.
Yeah. Not much else to say, but have fun this weekend, everyone. New set.
Yes. Get those Tamatoas and
Get
burn
those,
them.
Yeah.
get those crabs,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
go get crabs,
pull
guys.
those legendaries. All right, guys. Thanks for being
All
here.
right. Thanks for listening.
Have a great night.
Thanks for having us.